What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to talk on something a little unique. This is something I want to refer to as the genius of Pulse. And before you go on about, me writing pulses, you know what? That's not what this is about. Try to understand where I'm coming from. And this doesn't just pertain to Pulse. This pertains to a lot of producers. So as you know, there are a lot of great producers in the underground community, the rage community, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot. Not all of them. There's some that have a distinct sound, and we call them type beats. You know when you're listening to a Thrax type beat, and people that make similar beats to him, like Mars Mission and Young Bro, and there's a Ronnie J type beat, and the people that make something similar to him, like Dead 333 or whatever. You get the point that I'm trying to go for. But I feel like there's an ingenious way of producing that very few do. One of the examples is Pulse. Like I said before, Pulse, if you don't know what a Pulse beat is, it sounds like this. A Pulse beat, it has those distorted kicks. Almost everything is distorted out, and it has a different level of distortion and production that requires Pulse's actual mixing. So not only, even if it's not your favorite or the best type of producing that you think, it's unique to him, and it's something that he can use and market and actually make more money off of if he uses it correctly. So think about it. You have a beat, and the only way to rap on this beat is if someone uses your vocal mixing, because your production is so unorthodox or so unusual. Now, you can just make a normal trap beat and anyone can rap on it, and if you know how to at least mix the basics, you can make a decent song with that. A lot of people are going to use it, and they can just use your YouTube beats or whatever, the ones you put out for free, and you won't really get much money. But if someone takes a YouTube Pulse beat that's actually like a traditional Pulse, because Pulse makes different types of beats, they take that and try to have a vocal, try to emulate what someone that raps on Pulse beats usually, like Gilly Bowler, for example, and try to do his vocal production, is not going to sound the same. It's not just Pulse. I still think that's genius. That's why I'm naming it the genius of Pulse. But it's also the genius of Landfill or Brahman God. Brahman God is a really good example of this, where he has that very that production sound that he goes for. So if you're trying to go for a BMG type beat and rap like BMG on his own beat, you have, unless you just somehow know how to mix and sound exactly like him, it's very hard. And to pull that off, you're going to need him or someone that is like him to do that, like James Gorsica or something. So I think that's ingenious. A lot of people don't look at that. They look at how good the producer is, which obviously is very important. I'm not saying that being a good producer is not important. Being a good producer is highly important. But in my opinion, I think it's way smarter to not only be a good producer, but have a similar or a certain production sound that's unique to only you. To me, that's just ingenious. That goes for anything. That even goes for rap, where your sound, where there's not a lot of people, or in some rare cases anyone, that's going to pull off your technique and your way of making songs. Now, obviously, that doesn't, just because no one can mimic the way you do it doesn't mean it's good. But again, if it is good and it works, I think that's really smart. So I've always thought Pulse was genius for his production style. Whether you dislike him or his music or whatever, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The idea of having a production style or a beat making style that's unique to only you. So anyone trying to come into the scene and be a producer, that's something that I recommend. Yes, learn the actual art of making good beats. Number one, that's the one thing you should have down. Second, the more you make beats, you'll start to have, a trademark to where only you use certain things. A lot of producers like that. Like, If you hear the joke me and Lost Ultra have, shout out Ultra, she always used Jensine Kick 5. That's, if you go back to the How to Lost Ultra, that's why I like distorted that and kept saying that. You'll find your click, and you'll notice that you'll have a certain pattern that you like to do for your beats, and that's not always repetition, as long as all your beats don't sound the same. But if you have a similar style within all of them, that can be a good thing, and it's your type beat, and you can trademark it, and you know, people will start calling it a whatever, insert your producer name here, type beat. So yeah, that's really it. Yeah, so the moral of that is, I just thought this would be a video to help people that came into the scene, just something small, something to post. And if you have something that you want to put out, it's just that, just your production or even vocals or anything, it should have a unique style to you, to where it's really, really hard to mimic or someone else to emulate, because it's just for you. So that's it. Leave comments down if you agree, disagree. I want to have a discussion about this. Yeah, so that's really it. Another topic video, just something to put out there. I haven't been posting as much, so here you go. Much love. Thanks for 600 subs, almost to 1,000, almost there. Gotta keep pushing, gotta keep striving. But much love, everyone. Thanks.